What's up, guys? Welcome back to Streetball Strategies. Well, it's finally here. Winter has finally arrived, and it's cold and it's terrible and it sucks, but that also means NBA free agency is here as well, which usually happens in the summer, but 2020, so whatever, it's anything goes, I suppose. So the NBA season ended soon after they had the draft. Quicker than usual they had the draft, and now we are in free agency, and a ton of trades are going on. Ton of trades happened draft night, tons of trades are happening now. Some major trades are going down, and that made me think about how NBA organizations build their teams. And that made me think about how you would build your team out here. So I thought today we would talk about when you're a team captain, how to choose your team and how to choose your teammates. So let's build a scenario for how you would choose your teammates out here. I want to make a scenario in which I can conceive the most difficult situation possible, meaning you have as little information as you possibly could. So the situation is, you come out here, you arrive to the courts, there's 9 people out here. You don't know any of them. You're not familiar with them at all. You've never seen them before. You don't know their game, nothing. So when you arrive, now there's going to be 10 people out here. So you arrive, as soon as you get here, they see you, they say, hey, you want to play fives? Of course you do. So they say, great, you're first team captain, meaning you are a team captain and you have the first pick. Now the problem is you have 8 other players out here because one of them is a team captain. So there's the 2 of you, team captain 1, which is you, and then the other team captain, and then there's 8 other players that you have to choose from, and you don't know those 8 players at all. So now you have to choose from 8 players and have 4 of them on your team without any information. You don't have any information other than you're a team captain and this other guy is a team captain, and you don't know anything about him or his game either. It's cold. I really need to get a home office of some sort because I don't want to have to be out here at the park for another winter. So how do you choose your teammates when you have no information? Well, you need to have some kind of a strategy. People kind of overlook that. They just think, well, I'm going to choose that guy because he looks like he's the best player, or I'm going to choose that guy. And they kind of put no thought into it. They just kind of like randomly choose people based on how they look. And that's not far off from what we're doing, but there should still be some kind of a strategy, some kind of a game plan, right? Remember, you're trying to win, you're trying to establish your legacy, and you can't do that just being unprepared. So my general strategy for drafting a team of strangers usually consists of 3 principles. Number 1 is team chemistry. When you're talking 5-on-5, team chemistry is everything. Because there are so many people on the court, because the court can be so congested, team chemistry is very important. Well, because it's 5-on-5, if you have to, you have the bodies, you have the numbers to double team that other team's scorer if you have to. Whereas in 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, you don't have really that option. It's not really an option to double team people with lower number of people on the court, lower number of people on your team. You can't really double team people effectively. But in 5-on-5, if the other team has a great scorer, you now have the numbers that if you have to, you could double team that great scorer if the situation calls for it. And so I would rather have team chemistry instead of choosing that guy based on the fact that he looks like he's going to be a great scorer if it doesn't complement my team chemistry. My second principle for how you choose your teammates is, yes, while team chemistry is number one and its top priority, just the nature of basketball, and especially out here at the park, that team chemistry kind of has to revolve around somebody, right? You have to build that team chemistry around a certain player. Usually I'd build the team around myself, because not to seem arrogant, but I am just at a spot in my career where I feel that I have earned the confidence to be able to lead a team regardless of who's on that team. As long as I'm drafting it, I can lead that team to be successful. I can make those players better. I can get good shots for those players. So usually I'd build the team around myself. But if there's anyone out here who is clearly better than me, who's clearly beyond me in terms of being a player or even a leader, then if I'm a captain, then I'm easily and immediately going to take that other person who's better than me and then build around them. If I don't know anybody else on the court, then I'm just going to build around myself. But if it's clear that there's someone else that's better than me, then I will definitely build around them. Principle number 3 is that I want to fill the court and space it as evenly as possible, especially on 5-on-5 when you have 10 players on the court. I want my team to be filling the court properly and spaced out properly as well. I'll explain that as I go along. So let's start building the team. You're first captain, you have the first pick. How do you choose the first person? Well, if it's me in this scenario, since I don't know anybody, I didn't get to watch anybody, I didn't get to study anybody's game, I have no information, I then look to what information do I already have then? Well, the information I have is me and my game. And so I would say, okay, what's a strength that I have? A strength that I have is that I'm a point guard, that I am good at getting the ball to people in positions where they can get easy, good shots. And so having that information means that I don't need another point guard. I don't need a guard. I don't need somebody who's going to be dribbling the ball a lot and looking to get people open and get shots for other people because I'm that guy. I don't have to choose guards because I got one. So okay, then more information. What's a weakness that I have? Well, one of my major weaknesses is rebounding. I'm 5-0, 100-0. I shouldn't be down in the paint trying to out-rebound bigger guys. So it would probably be a good idea for me to draft a big rebounder guy who's going to be able to compensate for that weakness. So my first pick would probably be a rebounder. And choosing that rebounder accomplishes a couple things. One is that it doesn't interfere with my strength, being a guard, working the perimeter, passing the ball, right? It doesn't hurt that because that's not what he's doing. Number 2, it helps with a weakness of mine, which is battling down in the paint for rebounds. And 3, it puts someone down by the rim. It puts a body down by the rim because I'm up here, I'm at the top, I'm around the perimeter, right? There's a bunch of huge open space down around the basket that I don't have anything to do with just because of the fact that I'm a guard and I spend most of my time out here, right? Now I have a body to fill in a space down by the basket. The most important space is the one down by the basket. So I'm filling in that space first with a rebounder. Also by doing that, I'm spacing the court. So if I drafted another guard, it would put me on the perimeter, and then it would put him somewhere else on the perimeter, and then there'd still be a bunch of unfilled space down here in the paint, and it would be filling up space here on the perimeter. But because I drafted a rebounder, now I filled space down here, I have me up here, and now there's spacing between us, him down there and me up here. Now I want a player who can help get players open in order to be able to score, as well at the same time as filling up the middle of the court, as well as helping to fill out the court with having someone in the middle. So with my second pick, I'm going to be looking for someone who seems to be comfortable working the middle of the court, working around the elbows so that they can set screens. Because while I can have my rebounder guy, while he can come out and set screens for me, and I'm sure he will at some points, I would rather him stay down around the basket and control the paint than have him coming out to screen for me or other players. I would rather have a person who's designated to work the middle of the court, to work the shoulders, and be setting screens. For my third pick, now it's time to choose my scorer. And you may be thinking, why would I wait till my second to last pick to choose the guy who's going to be designated to do the majority of the scoring? Why not use my first pick to choose that guy? And again, it's because I'm trying to strategize for my team chemistry to pull off the game plan that I have in my mind for my team. So I've set up a big guy down low to take away one of my biggest weaknesses. I've set up a guy in the middle to set screens to get people open in order to be able to score, and now I'm going to choose the scorer. Like I said, I have earned confidence in myself that the guys that I choose to be on my team, I'm going to be able to get them good shots. I'm going to be able to get them in good positions in order to have quality scoring opportunities, and because of that, I feel comfortable with taking a scorer as my third pick as opposed to my first pick. But for you, in your situation, you may choose to have the scorer be your first pick, or you may be the scorer. Again, you can customize this strategy to your own situation and whatever needs you may have. For my fourth and final pick, as I said earlier, it's going to be some kind of complementary player, some kind of fill-in player, someone who's going to fill in the gaps of what's left that I need. But also, while I said earlier that team chemistry is most important, and it is, I always like to have the perspective that I want to focus on my team and building my team chemistry. I don't want to think about what the other team is doing, how they're building, how they're forming, what it looks like they're trying to accomplish, because I don't want what they're doing to dictate how I'm choosing my own team. I want to focus on my own team chemistry. I can't control what the other team is doing, how they're building their team. I can only focus and control on what I'm doing and how I'm building my team and my team's chemistry. By my third pick, now I'm starting to take into account what the other team is doing. But with my fourth and final pick, if you feel it's advantageous to you, this is where you could take a player based on the idea that the player that I'm choosing doesn't necessarily serve my team well, but I don't want that player playing for the other team because it will take away from them. I would rather that team not have that player because that's going to make their team better than mine. Usually I'm against that strategy because, again, it's letting what the other team is doing or could be doing dictate how you choose your team. But when you get to your later picks, your third pick, your fourth pick, that's when you can start to allow those thoughts and that strategy to come into play if it is advantageous for you. So with my last pick, it's usually a much easier choice because there's only two players left and I have the first pick. So now all I have to decide is, do I want a player who is a better fit for my team chemistry, and my team strategy, or do I want to take away a player from playing on the other team? So that's my strategy for when you're a team captain, how to choose your team. Remember the general principles of team chemistry first, especially in 5-on-5. Number 2, who are you going to build the team around? And 3, how are you going to fill in the gaps in the spaces on the courts properly? So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, especially seeing as how it's freezing out here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys like this kind of content, if you like this kind of advice, please let me know down in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you do. That would be great. In the last month or so, we've had a nice little influx of subscribers, so welcome to all you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. If you are, please hit that notification bell so that you're notified of all my future videos. Also, by the time you guys see this, the first basketball movie review videos are up. They are live. The first one is of Celtic Pride, 1996. It's on Esquire's list of the best basketball movies, and it's number 20, and it's up. It's live right now if you guys want to check that out. I'm going through that list 20 to 1 over the next few weeks. If you guys want to check those videos out, that would be great. They're over there. They're live. I'll link to them somewhere so you guys can go check out those videos, and I will see you guys next week.